Right then, guys, welcome in. Bitcoin having a bit of a move, so we'll jump straight in. Right then, so what are we seeing? What's up, Sin? Yeah, jump in the chat, just on the old multi-screen at the minute to kick off Tuesday's proceedings. After a little bit of a long weekend, Labor Day weekend in the US, obviously in a bank holiday over here and in a few European countries. Appreciate it wasn't everywhere, so lower volumes over the weekend, a little bit of fuckery to be had, wasn't there? Nothing's really changed higher time frame on big boy Bitcoin, just hitting a little bit of supply now, as we can see. We'll go and have a look and see what that has. I don't know if that's a group spot or a diamond. Okay, ETH under a little bit of pressure with some high open interest. If you look at higher time frames, 4-hour and daily charts, I don't think the open interest is anything phenomenal on ETH, so I don't know why everyone's getting their knickers in a twist about it. And you're at these kind of resistance points on some of the altcoins like ETH, where they are at very, very high time frame resistance. So ETH, Sol, same as well. You know, you're seeing this supply. So we'll have a look at those together today. What's up, Swaps? What's up, Sin? Yeah, so everyone jump in the chat. Welcome in to the Trader Console, TRDR.io console. Links below for a free trial and all the good stuff. Go and check it out. How the hell are you trading if you don't have this information? Okay, so obviously what we're going to do is we'll concentrate on Bitcoin first, but if you've got any questions regarding the console or anything we need to look at together, anything I'm missing, any points or data points I'm missing as we go through, then obviously just drop it in the chat and call me out. Let me know what I am missing. So let's go to a full window. So I think I want to concentrate on BTC at first, obviously, and we're just going to have a look at the order books. Okay, so what alert just hit then? So we've got ETH diamonds kicking off, ETH Fauci, ETH group spots. So ETH is getting really hammered with supply at the minute. BTC, we've just hit a group spot. Okay, so Bitstamp, Coinbase and Binance doing some selling on BTC right here, right now. So that could stall you a little bit, okay, right at the US Open. Not that that matters to us in cryptoverse much, really, but we obviously get the volumes kicking in, don't we, at this time of day. So let's have a look. What are we hitting? So Binance spot, let's keep it really, really nice and simple, as if we've just opened the charts. We've got no strong bias. This is a clean, fresh look at the charts. We know that on higher time frames we're trending up. Okay, we are trending, range, trend. The small range that we are actually forming now is looks a little bit like we're probably going to hit some volatility soon, one way or the other. It tends to be that in these trending markets, the ranges get a little bit smaller as you go up. Then you might get what you call your blow off top. Whether we get a blow off top, maybe everything just, you know, stays nice and calm. We'll see. Right here, right now, obviously, I wouldn't long anything in this kind of price action, especially seeing as you're just hitting a little bit of supply. But here's your Monday open. There's your all-time high, so you're not too far away from that. No one is particularly sat under price bidding it right now, apart from we can just see Bitfinex there just dropping in with a little bit of a bid on BTC. They've got some guts, haven't they? Like Mr. James Wynn, long in tops, short in bottoms. I'm sure he can afford to do that, and he knows exactly what he's doing. So yeah, let's see if we can come back down a little bit and gather some bid. Overall depth in the books has been quite good over the last 48 hours. 700 million from 800 to 900 million aggregated depth, mainly from perps and mainly a little bit further away. So just appreciate that, obviously, as you are touching all-time highs or just approaching all-time highs, your main bid depth is 5 to 10% away, so you can expect volatility as always. All right, so let's have a look what everyone else is doing. So yeah, Bitstamp have got some selling, we've seen that. Let's just run through what we're seeing right here, right now. Coinbase, they've got some selling. Group spot as well. What have we actually achieved here? We've just taken those highs out there from yesterday afternoon's session, which was obviously a little bit of a low volume day. So any data that comes in today, any bid ask or volume or anything that hits today, I think is going to be a little bit more relevant, obviously, and more tradable with the volume. You can see that over like the past 48 hours or so, we've not really moved much. I know a lot of alts have, or kind of a lot of altcoins are bedding in some demand, so we will go and have a look at those. But yeah, Coinbase Pro, nothing to see here really. They've got higher levels there, so let's just have a look at what we've got. Higher levels there, 115, and then one up at 120. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A little bit far away. Not going to suggest that we're going up there straight away, or even down there to that 100k. What have Binance got to the bid side? Lower, 105. Yeah, I bet there is some liquidity down there. You know, I'm not going to say we're going right down there straight away, but you just know there will be a little bit of liquidity down there. But to the upside as well, where we've just hit here, there's probably some weekend short liquidity as well, just around the all-time high, where some clever people probably thought they were very smart to short the all-time high. It's been done before. We've all been there, haven't we? Right. The one you need to keep an eye on, because I don't think the spot market, apart from when you see these kind of resting limit bids in the books here, okay, until they get filled on the bid side or the offer side, they're not going to be too effective on price. You're just kind of like looking at resting limit orders and offers in the book, aren't you? So I think we still need to keep an eye on perps market, obviously. Bitfinex perps and BitMEX CoinM, they're, you know, smart traders in there. The charts can be a little bit messy, but you sometimes get some edge. But I think we need to keep an eye on, obviously, Binance perps. So let's see what they're doing. Okay, so this was nice to see over the weekend and gave us a little kick up, didn't it? So that was good to see on the 25th. Little bit of inactivity. That was another good one there. Okay, so whenever you see these bigger orders defending price, it's worth just keeping an eye on them. That is what I would say. And also what it can do is, if you see that on a low volume illiquid weekend, and maybe you've got your eye on some altcoins you want to trade, if you see this kind of thing where they've got a defense in price, and then you're maybe having a look at an altcoin that's falling to demand and is catching some bid, this kind of signature on Bitcoin can give you a little bit more confidence to say, okay, I think price is at least going to hold here. We're maybe not going to nuke through here. So then you can get a little bit more confident with the altcoin trades if you're an altcoin gambler. All right. But yeah, keep an eye on Binance Perps USDT. As I say, the main bid, okay, and it doesn't mean we're going down here, but the main bid is 5 to 10% away. It's giving us some good depth, but just appreciate you are quite far away. Right here, right now, I'm really not sure. I don't want to speculate one way or another in, you know, half an hour into this US volume session. I'd rather just see what data develops right here. I think there was some good altcoin setups over the last few days. We can go over those as well. Right, so what we'll do is we'll just have a look at a couple of things, but I'm not going to bore everyone with BTC data points as we attempt price discovery once again, because the trading levels are quite easy here still, to be honest. The price action has been very tame at the minute, very orderly, very technical, very nice to play. Right, we'll have a quick look at volume. We can have a look at some TA levels. We'll have a quick look at volume. But not too much edge, especially over at low volume weekend when everyone's on a holiday and stuff. Yes, we've got a rise in open interest. Funding is kind of diddle in the middle, nothing to see here, sir. Yeah, I've got no edge in volume really, unless retail start to absolutely short the shit out of this. And I'll just say, despite the open interest, we're probably just gonna clip it higher and take that all-time high liquidity, you know, in the next 12, 24 hours. But right here, right now, I've got nothing to say on volume, I do have to say, just looking at a 15-minute basis. So I'll just keep an eye on the bid ask and see what we get in the coming hours or so. Another quick one to keep an eye on as we do rise up is obviously going to be, let me just pull it up for you there, if it'll load. It's going to be the liquidity chart, okay? Now, just appreciate that on a 4-hour basis, so I do like these on high time frames. You've all seen me go through this before. If you want to know what this template's all about, go into the playlists, all right, that we've got shared everywhere, and have a look at Liquidity King. Now, one thing to say is obviously that spot market, okay, is running a little bit hot now, okay, so we could just see what's going up to that red boundary. So that's one to keep an eye on, okay, for the next 48 hours or so, with us being on a 4-hour chart. And perps market's getting hot as well, okay, so I'm not going to call a top right here, right now. I actually am up for a little bit of a kick higher, but we are starting to run hot. Now, you can see in previous times in this kind of cycle, we've ran hot up here for a while and still really stretched the price action up, haven't we? Okay, so it can take time. All I'm saying is now and again, maybe once a day or so, just come and have a look at this, okay? And then if you see that it's running really, really hot with hot open interest, then go and have a look at the supply, okay? Maybe just have a bit more of a think about hedging your positions. But right here, right now, despite us seeing this supply, I'll say this right now, I'm not in favour of shorting Bitcoin at the minute. I would rather let it do its thing. The trend is strong. Similar with ETH and Sol. ETH probably looks a little bit of a better short with that supply overhead and the high open interest, but I'm more of the inclination, like I generally am when we're in a trending market like this. I'll say this 1,000 times, I'd rather not battle a strong trending market. I'd rather just let price fall, okay, and then just bid that back up. It's just a healthier, better way to trade, in my opinion. Okay, right. So, anything else we need to look at on BTC? We can see our levels here. Monday open, all-time high there. Let's have a quick look at TA levels. But yeah, welcome in everybody. If you are new, Trader Console, go grab a link from below for a free trial, and don't forget to jump into the Academy as well and the docs pages for all the good stuff. Right, so tier levels, this is what I mean about your range is getting a lot smaller now and tighter. I don't think we hang around here for long. Now, I don't know if we come back down first and fake out this, you know, trend like I'm always aware of, and then back up, or if we just crack onwards and upwards from here. But what I mean by these ranges getting a little bit shorter is, if you just zoom out a little bit, okay, I'm not even going to call this zone up here a range, despite the fact I've started to pull a range, but trend up, range, okay, I think that was like 34 days or something. This was a slight longer. Range, up, okay, and then obviously we've got the one right back here. Big range, massive deviation, everybody shits the pants, and then it's uponly.com. But what you can see is that these ranges, and this is the way it tends to play out, okay, I hope Bitcoin is up only forever, okay, and everyone makes £1 million. That'd be very, very nice, wouldn't it? But generally in price action charts, I'm not particularly into wick off and all that. I'm not clever enough to analyze that. I will just look at the bid ask, the nice horizontal levels, and play those. But I just want to point this out to you on a actually I'm on a 1-hour chart here. I should have looked at it on a 4-hour. Range, trend, range, smaller range, up, tight range, tight compression. Okay, so I'm aware that we are getting into this, you know, potentially volatile little area on BTC. Right, what's stock market doing? Stock market's in the green. Okay, this was red pre-market. I didn't see for any gaps up or anything, but that is nice to see from the stock market. So I think that's BTC covered. You know, maybe you just come down. Here's your Monday/weekly open. You could just come down here. You can see how nice and orderly. The price action's been, you know, you deviate down, you come back up. So I would just keep an eye on this 109 level. I do believe there will still be some liquidity at 108, 107. We can have a look at that on the OBC quickly before we dive into some juicy altcoins. Today. No real gaps on the spot chart there. I can go and have a look at perps 1 day. Yeah, not too much 12-hour. Yeah, you'd have to go down to 107 maybe. Let's have a look at the perps market. When we're just coming off the back of a weekend, I do like to go to higher time frame OBCs. I'm not seeing much on perps, to be honest, to stand out and give me an edge that would say if price starts to fall, I can see a big liquidity gap here, and that might be where we go. So I'm still not in the mood for fighting bulls here, to be honest. I'm just going to let price do its thing. Right, back to full window, and let's have a look at some other shizzle. But yeah, drop in the chat if you've got any alts that we need to look at. OBD, little quick summary, and then we'll summarize again at the end. Little quick summary. We're hitting group spot supply on BTC. Okay, you've got your key levels here. Overall depth is not bearish, it's just a little bit far away. Okay, 5 to 10% away. I haven't got much edge in volume. Okay, open interest is running a little bit hot once again. We can have a look at deltas actually, but not too bad. So 1 hour basis deltas, okay, open interest here, it's not that bad on BTC. Okay, it's not that bad at all if you compare this to what ETH's doing at the minute. And this is why everyone's getting the knickers in a twist on crypto Twitter. So yeah, open interest is running quite hot on ETH at the minute. If you then go to a 4 hour, here you go, okay, you're going to get it. You're going to get these big open interest rises on these kind of breakouts. And if you just zoom back on ETH, look left, you're at some obvious resistance. So you're obviously going to see some supply here, yeah? And it'll be the same on Sol. I think Sol is, you know, keep it very, very simple. You're seeing supply on Sol, and where are you? You're at a key level here. So ETH and Sol, you know, they need to flip these zones. Okay, really, really nice and simple. 180-ish on Sol, needs to flip that zone, and then we'll see if we can get some continuation. Okay, I'm not going to say it is going to continuation, but that's what I'd be looking for. And ETH with this kind of level at, call it 2,700 or something. Okay, so yeah, that is why you're seeing all the supply. So let's go and have a look at those now. Let's have a look at ETH and Sol and stuff. I'm just going to keep it on a 15-minute basis. Yeah, so this is quite heavy for ETH. You've got some serious spot selling, okay, in the 1 to 2.5 and up to the 5%. Some big ratios there, 76 negative ratio, nearly double bands because you're hitting a negative 59 there on ETH as well. So once again, ETH is probably the better risk reward short if you're inclined to be a stubborn bear and not just play the trend. The trouble is, ETH at the minute, when it gets going, has been known to destroy its supply side, okay, until it gets to the biggest top level. So in this case back here, as it was trending up, this top level was what we call static because it's been there for a while at 2,700, okay, and it got up to there, wicked right through it before it even dropped. So that is the kind of thing you're fighting at the minute. Maybe this time is different, okay, but one thing to say is, I guess, just giving it a classic look, is you've already been here. Okay, so this is our second attempt at 2,700 for ETH. Do you know, maybe you get away with it for a couple of percent this time. I say if we do drop, gather some bid and run back up, I certainly wouldn't want to be looking at shorting for a third time. I would say, you know, even as a range trader, I would say that to myself. Okay, so ETH, yeah, open interest is hot. I know something's going on with the foundation or someone entering some kind of micro strategy play out there. I don't know, something's going on with ETH and buyback of shares or from some company or something, but yeah, you know, I wouldn't long here, okay, but just be cautious if you are shorting. This is quite a big level, 2,700. Just appreciate it is the second time we've been here. one clue would be as well is just go to perps as well, because what would be the best is, okay, if we say we get some continuation up in the next couple of weeks on BTC, on ETH, on Sol, and the altcoins run, that'd all be very, very nice, wouldn't it? Okay. What I would prefer to see with the spot market selling would be perps selling as well and just getting out of position. So we've had an ETH diamond here, but the selling is not too aggressive right here, right now. You can already see we're just bouncing back up a little bit. You know, negative OBD ratio here in the 1 to 10%. Notice that we don't have that on BTC at the minute, okay? And again, your nearest bid depth on ETH, 5 to 10% away again, literally 5 to 10% away, okay? So 26 ratio now. I won't put it past ETH just to have another little look at these highs if it was going to roll over, as I say. All right, so ETH, careful, it is at some high time frame resistance. That's why you're seeing this supply. I'm not surprised to see spot sellers selling ETH here. Okay, you imagine you've been holding this for the last year or so at the same price. You know, you're maybe going to want a little bit of a rotation out, aren't you, to be honest? Okay, but yeah, this is probably the better short if you're inclined to take one today. Soyboy Sol, the spot bid was really good here the first thing this morning when I woke up, really good. So that's nice to see. Even if you're just day trading this, if you get nice confluence from spot and perps on stuff like Sol, the bigger volume coins, they really are ones to take, I would say. And I'm going to show you another asset in a minute that I know that the guys did check out on the Discord live yesterday. But yeah, nice coming down, nice bounce coming down, actually a higher low as well, potential on the 15-minute chart. Really good perps market and spot market on Sol. So again, Sol needs to crack this 180 level. It could come down again, you know, maybe we have some rotations down at some point round here. And then I think it probably cracks it. You can even just see the offers that are going up to like that 190 there have actually lifted now. Okay, so the offers above Sol, if it gets going, have been lifted. Also, Max, did I wake up at 3 a.m? No, 5:30 a.m, 6, no, yeah, I was up early. And you will probably know why. I was watching AVAX come back down to demand again, Max. And I did actually, yeah, I did wake up at about 3 a.m. Go to the gentleman's convenience, and then I checked AVAX. And you will know why. Yeah, because AVAX was here, and I was like, oh, what's it doing? Slow mover AVAX. Okay, so I'm not going to cover this too much. All I wanted to say is, because I know the guys covered this on the Discord yesterday, we shared this one at the weekend, along with TRB, so I hope everyone got some TRB action as well, shared that at the weekend. But AVAX, if you see this kind of signature, this orange or whatever layout, okay, and it's on spot market, this is absolute what I call fire and forget trade. This is, you are buying true demand. Really nice chart on AVAX, and the 4-hour chart's really nice as well. Okay, so I think the guys told me, I didn't stay awake and what I was away from desk as it started to rise. But yeah, as it came down to this level, you know, 1.5–2% risk. I think the guys told me that this order got lifted. I don't know if it got filled or lifted, but what is to say is that this, for a bigger asset like AVAX, if you see this on Sol, on Rune, if you see it on ETH, you know, any of the bigger trading volume assets, and you see aggressive, mega aggressive buying like that, you've just got to get in. Don't overanalyze it. You've just got to get in and manage your risk. Get your stops in a little bit below the levels, okay? And then what you have to say to yourself is, okay, if you are watching this at the time and you see that level drop and that one go, you've almost got to say to yourself, and I shared this with the guys in the alpha traders, part of the Discord, that you know, you've almost got to say to yourself, okay, I'm buying demand. Like we've mentioned before, I'm buying demand here. Do I want the market to prove me wrong and just stop me out? That was the way I was inclined to treat this, to be honest. Or do I just kill the trade, or do I tighten it up? Everyone's a little bit different, aren't they? But you are buying true demand. Just let the market stop you out. It should be managed nicely, even to the extent if you did go down and we filled this zone, then you're happy just to get in again, okay? No crying, no throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Okay, that's failed, but you know the system works, so you just get in again at this level if you were to choose, sir. All right, so yeah, avax, very nice. Quick flick back to see what BTC's doing. Not moving too much, is it? This is the thing, it actually is moving. It's swinging kind of like $300, $400, $500. But considering that you're going into this kind of price discovery now, you've got to expect that. Okay, you've just got to expect that. All right. Quick check what STX is doing. Yeah, I thought STX was nice in this zone as well. Couple of others. TRB. Okay, hope everybody got in some TRB action. Trung says, any discount for TRDR next time? It's up to, generally they only give a discount on Black Fridays, which is October, November time, isn't it? You'd have to speak to DK or Shaquille. To be honest, my opinion, and I look, I feel part of the team. I'm a trader. I use the system. I just help the guys out in socials and with these streams and stuff. My opinion is the data is cheap anyway. The console is so cheap for the amount of data you get, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't think there'll be any discounts soon. Leading into summer when it's quiet. The next one generally will be Black Friday. Brett says, I'm in this cookie decentralized organization. What is that cookie DAO? Long from last week. Is that TRB? I hope you are, sir. Yeah, really good. Again, look, TRB does this sort of thing once or twice a year. If you're familiar with me on the live streams or in the Discord or Telegram, I've been saying this forever that, once or twice a year, TRB pulls these moves, yeah? So I don't think it's something, unless you're into the project, to say to yourself, right, I'm going to hold this because it's going to 1000x. I just think it's a good one that if you see signatures like this, so these little crosses here, yeah? So these little crosses here, it's an alert log overlay, right? That's not me putting crosses on there. That's an alert log overlay from the bid ask, yeah? So from here, alt diamonds, longs, select markets. Is it in this one or is it in my shit one? It's probably in this one here, okay? So I knew TRB was coming down to some nice levels. There you go. So spot and perps TRB. So I knew TRB was coming down to some nice levels. I was watching it here. Okay, I was watching it here, came down, it filled this bid here, bounced, and then it's just so flat, and actually not doing too bad volume for an absolute shit coin. So call it a cabal coin, call it whatever. The chart and the order book is telling you what is going on. And to see a big level in defense like this, again, it's what I call like seeing an anomaly in the order book. So that's what you're looking for. It doesn't matter whether this is TRB, it don't matter whether this is Bonk, coin, LTC, you trade these and you manage your risk and you get in. So yeah, really nice. Shared that with the guys. It's on Saturday actually, back here. So shared that with the guys back here, and basically said, look, this is an absolute fire and forget trade. Look at the way it's kind of like trending there. It comes down to the month. I think it was that monthly open. So it sits at that monthly open, gathers the bid around that order block, right? And then it just starts to move. Really nice chart. Really nice chart. So that's part of the alpha traders. It's not a signal group or anything. We just post a few more setups in there. It's more just for if anyone's got any questions regarding the order books or a little bit more one-on-one help. But it's actually part of the academy. All right, so it's part of this, primarily just to help people a bit more, share a bit more alpha. But really, yeah, we do post a few more setups as well. So that was in there. What am I doing? Go to the console. Right, so what's BTC doing? 109,870, chop it in about a little bit. So yeah, we'll have a look at a couple more alts, see if we can find anything today. Have you shared my setup anywhere? I can share this template. This is a template, obviously. I can share this if you want it. I can drop that in the chat now for you. Share with others. It's literally this one. I think these are all in the socials anyway. But yeah, just save that as your own. I use this for everything. Basically. BTC, alts, everything. Right, it's BTC doing. Let's have a look at a few more bits. Yeah, group spot negative 47. What's Coinbase doing? They've come off the gas a little bit. Gemini is selling. Perps not too interested. Yeah, a little bit of choppiness. Right, other coins then. So TRB, really nice. I would, if you are still in this, I would certainly be booking some more profits here. To be honest. This kind of coin will be back at $30 any minute. I don't know. Maybe this is real genuine, and the project itself has got something going on. I don't know. Just for the last few years, I've known that TRB, every now and again, if you can see these anomalies in the order book, get involved, because you never know whether you're going to get a 17% pump straight off the bat within 24 hours. Okay. Difficult to hold through that, obviously, but then if you did hold for whatever reason, 46%, that can be massive for some people, obviously. Yeah, get involved. Right, Rune, not a lot to see on Rune. Let's just go through a couple of others. I'm keeping an eye on S. Some of these assets like STX and S and a couple of others, they've not really moved much. They're kind of waiting to see what big boy Bitcoin wants to do, and if Bitcoin is going to give them permission to rise up again, aren't they? But go and have a look at some 4-hour charts like S and STX. So I want to keep an eye on this. The order book is a little bit messy. It's obviously coming down some demand. It's not bad debt for a shit coin like this. I don't think there's much edge in perps, really. All I would say is have a look at some bigger levels if you're going to look at it. Yeah, 0.42. I don't know if we're going to get there, but just have a look at some high time frame charts. If these, I might have to just have a look and see if these guys are still relevant, still doing anything, because it's still low down. I'm not one to call alt season or anything. I couldn't give a shit. I think most of these altcoins are going to zero, probably in the next couple of years, but you can trade them either way. So just have a look at some high time frame charts, and what I mean by that is keep it really simple. Keep it simple. I'm gonna have to go perps because spot skewed. That's just play the trend. Play the trend. Maybe stuff like STX ranges a little bit more here and then gets another kick up. You've got such easy invalidations here. Okay, so if you're seeing demand at these kind of areas, I'm not a trendline trader, but just have a look at some of this stuff. They're really good 4-hour charts, and I could potentially see some more upside. Zoom out. Just zoom out. Daily charts. It could do well, maybe a bit more range here, but it could do well. And I bet it won't take it much to get it back up to that 130 region, just absolutely just gap up and fill. And again, on stuff like S, if you just look at the 4-hour charts, it actually looks like it's struggling a little bit. So maybe that is a warning sign in itself that some of the other alts like STX and avax, for instance, avax, that bid on avax was coming in here, right on the trend line, really nice, just nice and easy. Don't get much easier than that. Maybe on some assets like S, Sonic, whatever, maybe that could be a warning. It's either a warning sign that it's not performing very well. Let me just draw my old lines on here. Maybe it's a warning sign it's not performing very well. It could be. It could potentially be. We'll have to see, won't we? Let me get rid of that. But if the project is still relevant and I start to see some big volume coming down here, then it's gonna very much look like hindsight when this thing does that, isn't it? And this is obviously, if the project is still relevant, this zone in these lows is going to be value, isn't it? So just want to keep an eye on, don't put all your funds in, so to speak, not financial advice. This is purely for entertainment and paper trading purposes only. A question from the big difference between pro plan and premium plan is the data rate. There's a few differences. So pro and premium, infinite save charts, indicators, templates. So that's what I've just shared with you, is an indicator template. Okay, infinite saving, so you can have millions and millions and billions and billions. Indicators per chart, 25. That can be key if you're a bit of an indicator nerd like I am. Now, appreciate that your alerts log overlay that shows the alerts on the chart is classed as an indicator as well. Okay, so pro 10, yeah, that's maybe enough, you know. But if you think you've got top levels, that's an indicator. You've got order book overlay, that's an indicator. Okay, so these are your key bread and butter indicators. And then if you want to add like an open interest delta, that's 3. You know, order book overlay, alert overlay 4. It can soon add up. And I for me, I still think premium is cheap. Multi charts up to 8, so you can have an 8 chart layout. I think you've all seen my multi chart layouts before. Time frames, we have got all. Obviously, you can go down to a 30-second there as well. And then the only difference really is when you get into the weeds here. The free plan, obviously, you've got some delayed stuff. Then yes, like you mentioned, I think the data rate might be, yeah, Screener's got a few more advantages as well. Premium, number of devices simultaneously, 5. You can only have 2 on Pro. Number of tabs open per device simultaneously, 10. Infinite. Yeah, I actually have the trader console open on 3 screens. So yeah, just have a look through it. Have a look through the pricing. Yeah, so you know, I have this multi-chart open all day long. You know, to keep an eye on certain assets that we might be keeping an eye on. But you can actually have more windows as well. So you could add on the pro plan. You just add as many as you want, basically. Pretty good. Right, let's dive into a couple of other bits. So yeah, what was I saying? So stuff like Sonic, you know, you guys might know that this project's still relevant. All I'm saying is, it could still be in value here. Could be. So, you know, it's the sort of thing I would wait to see. Do we come back down, find some really, really good bid, and then you just get in with risk managed, and you know, you could be in for a bit of a reward there. Order books are just starting to come back now. So that is a spot alert I've got there again. Again, not a star I'm dropping on. It's part of the logs overlay. And if you just look at this, so this chart layout I've got, which is pretty standard for me, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this chart layout template is okay on a pro plan. Okay, but if you wanted to add to this, then you're going to need, you know, if you add another 2 indicators here, you're going to need premium. Yeah, so if you take my chart and add something on. So Sue obviously had a bit of a rough time last week, didn't it? Actually started to break down its trend a little bit as well. Obviously there were signs on the way up. It was hitting some supply. I thought there was some good longs to be had on Sue. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? As people say, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, is it in a bull flag again? Yeah, no, is it maybe? Are we just doing this again? I'm seeing these all over the stock market. Maybe it's doing that. You know, and it's still got higher lows here. Barely. It is battling a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, funny one, isn't it? Funny one. Yeah, not bad there though. Nice top level on it there. Yeah, nice risk reward top level on that one actually. It could fill it. I'd prefer to see some bid on that. You know, you'd prefer to see this with a strong bid on it. But that's, yeah, it's not bad. Could be enough. What's Perbs doing? Yeah, could be enough. I mean, it's due a little run, isn't it? It's due a little run. Right, DeFi is doing well. As always, I think DeFi is up only, isn't it? It's coming back. It's like 2021 all over again, DeFi summer. CRV getting some bid again, always worth a little play. Aave has been uponly.com, absolutely destroying its supply. And I think you're probably going to see a bit more of this, you know, in these strong trending markets like we've mentioned over the last week or so. If you're in the frame of mind to hedge your short position, just do it lightly. You know, just do it lightly, because the supply side is getting absolutely smashed, and it would be better to see perps selling as well. You know, these resting limit offers, you know, can get filled, and you can just shoot through them even before you take any kind of rotation down. And what else do you see? You've got bid following up. Yeah, so if you're an Aave from lower, this is exactly what you want to see. It's destroying the supply side, and you've actually got people chasing price up with dynamic bid coming in to push up. All good in the hood. Another great chart. Oh, look at that. Absolutely Gucci balls chart. ENA. And I don't have a freaking clue what this coin is, right? And I'll be honest, right? I'm a humble trader analyst. I don't have even fucking clue what this coin is. I just know it's got an amazing order book. I shared this with the guys as well. Spot demand, bounce, couple of offers. Don't worry about that. You know, comes down, dynamic bid following up, like impatient. This is exactly what you want to see, right? So you get in here, for instance, yeah. Go check out that video that I put on with Mark Douglas about, if you don't know how price moves, watch this. It's in, I don't know if it's just in, go back in my video, it's this red pill moment video, go and have a look at that. Because this is what you want to see on everything now. Very strong asset, does some good volume if you compare it to some of the other assets. So good volume, so you're trading with good volume. 7.5 million aggregated depth in the books, really good. If you compare that to some of the other assets that are doing like 1 million or 1.5 million depth, you know, it's nothing, peanuts. Comes down, don't know if that entity filled there. I'd have to zoom right in and see if it went transparent. Obviously, you know, watch the trades panel at the time. Bounce, comes down, you're getting more bid, right? And whoever this is here, I think this is, I don't think this is, it could be the exchange. I think this is one entity. And they're trying to get a fill. They're trying to get a fill here, and they keep having to move price up. And that is exactly what you want to see if you're in from lower. Dynamic bid coming in and chasing price up. Really nice. Have a look at that on a 5 minute. Really nice. So this poor bugger, they're trying to get a fill on the price, and they're just having to chase price up higher and higher. So if you are this entity chasing Athena up on spot limit bids, you should have had the TRDR console free trial in the link from below, and been watching it over the weekend, sir or madam, and you would have got it there. I don't know if that didn't fill, it's almost like, I don't know, I don't want to speculate too much. Anyway, it's a really nice chart, and you haven't got much supply in the books until 0.45. Let's have a look at the 4 hour chart, as we always like to do. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so oh god, if you zoom out too much, you could make anything look good, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Oh, look at this, it's really flat, nice range. Yeah, it looks good. I think it's almost this is obviously still part of your downtrend, but yeah, potentially kind of, I don't know, kind of like complex head and shoulders or some shit. Maybe I'm not gonna call it that. But really nice. So look, again, it don't take much. You're gonna come up against some. I'm gonna call that your resistance there. Right, just eyeball these levels. You're gonna come up against some resistance. If this demand holds in this zone, for this asset, yeah, it's absolutely going to be onwards and upwards. Let's see where that. Oh, I wasn't far off there, was I? We're not far off. So that's value, and that's value highs, yeah. So yeah, you want the point of control to hold. Let me just put another line there in the middle. Red. because I'm going to take this fixed range off, otherwise it'll be there forever. 0.37. 0.37. Let's have a look where that's coming in. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if you'll come back down. Obviously, you're going to come back down here if BTC takes a little bit of a spill. So yeah, I mean, it could be onwards and upwards here. I don't really want to chase this, or I wouldn't advise chasing. I showed this to the guys over the weekend, and then I think it was about, I can't remember, it was last night. Max will tell me if I'm wrong. It was last night I said about Athena. And AR's been really nice as well. So yeah, I don't know if I just want to chase this up now because I'm seeing this entity, because it's already moving. I don't really like chasing things. But yeah, AR as well. Oh shit, what time was that? 2 AM again. Yeah, I think I did see that. AR, really, really nice. I haven't played this one personally because the only reason being is you don't want to long every bloody asset, do you? But you can see it's come to this level a few times. When it's hit this level a few times, chances are it can dip lower to take that lower liquidity. Turns out it's holding at the minute, and look at that, very, very strong ratios, in there. That'll have been like a 90 ratio or something, so even stronger than AVAX. So I'm seeing this on a lot of altcoins, strong spot demand. So people are committing to a lot of altcoins, which is nice to see. Do we get some kind of season? Not sure, we'll see. Pepe, if you're interested in Pepe, it has done very, very well. I expect Mr. James Wynn, who has been the hyperliquid whale, has been doing very well from his Pepe bags as well, and his Moonpig bags. Whatever you say about whatever that guy was doing over the weekend with his longs and shorts and whatever, it's been good advertisement for hyperliquid, number one. Number two, the amount of new followers he will have got on Twitter. And what is number one on his Twitter profile is a meme coin called Moonpig. So I'm sure that he's doing very well as well. And he's a Pepe holder, and he don't mind telling people he's a Pepe holder as well. I think he originally did very well out of Pepe. So, but yeah, all what I wanted to say was, tends to be on some of these bigger meme coins like Pepe, when you see these bigger top levels like here at this 0. I'm just going to call it 1368, okay, you want these areas to hold, and when they do hold, you normally get a nice move. And then what else are you seeing? So supply was coming down here, laddering down, it's now disappeared, and you've still got that, and that'll be quite a static level. You're just not seeing it because my overlay print here is probably like 25% or something, okay. But yeah, no resistance until quite a little bit higher up. WIF, how is WIF doing? Yeah, WIF is actually probably one of the better longs today. Now, the 4-hour chart is quite high up. I would say in these strong trends, though, you just sometimes have to get in. WIF is well bid here, as you can see. Perps are bid as well. So, again, this is a messy chart, okay? That was nice there. If you do find this too messy, just change your ratios. You could just change your ratios and say, oh, is that top levels? Let's have a look. If you find it too messy, especially in a strong trending market, let me just refresh that real quick. If you're finding the altcoin perps charts messy, because everyone's bullish alts all the time, aren't they? Okay, so if you look at WIF and go, okay, this is too messy, you could change your minimum bids and asks. I wouldn't suggest changing the asks. You want to see when that perp supply comes in, but you could really just up this for, you know, for a range of market. You know, you could do it massively. I would go something like maybe like 70. I'm not suggesting you do this, but you could do. You might have to tweak the opacity cap and the style as well, so I won't do that now. But that's all I was going to say, because that, you know, you can just see how nice it came in there. But again, you had a big top level there, so concentrate on your top levels as well. It does have to be said. Yeah. Get the alerts there, but yeah, WIF looking quite nice here. I do know that it is quite high up on that 4-hour chart, as I say, but it's well bid. It's getting well bid. Doge, nice one at the weekend as well. Well bid. Offers have lifted. Yeah, so just be aware of what you're seeing here as well as we go through some of the altcoins. Okay, on a few alts, they've come from very good spot demand. So even if you get some volatility in the next 12-24 hours, okay, from BTC, say BTC gives some nice volatility, yeah, you're also gonna get hit as well. What I would say is you're seeing on a lot of alts some strong spot demand, which is good. Organic, strong spot demand. Okay, levels still coming in, strong spot demand. And then what do we see to the top side? Offers getting lifted. Yeah. So again, I'm not one to call alt season or any shit like that. But I'm seeing good things. I'm seeing good things. Trump coin, is it moving? No, I quite like Trump's perp market here. And again, it's a messy chart, but it's getting bid. And it's actually been flat. The price action's been very, very flat on Trump for a while, 48 hours or so down here, look. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Trump coin take a kick. Fat coin's messy. Brett, a little bit messy. Fat coin, yeah, a bit messy. Bonk doing anything. Let's have a flick through a couple of others. Yeah, Max just highlighting there. Beginning, start off on Pro Plan, obviously. You can always upgrade when you want, and then I think the guys give you credits for when your next renewal would be due. So I don't think you get a refund and then start your premium plan. The guys will just credit your account or something. Right, what's Litecoin doing? Not a lot. I do like to keep an eye on OM, but it's absolutely doing nothing. To be honest, this is what I was saying about like Athena. So Athena, ENA, compared to some of these other coins, 1.45 million depth, aggregated depth in the books. Athena doing 9-10 times that, so it moves well. ZRO, I know a couple of guys in the chat like ZRO, still in its range. Okay, probably right in the middle of its point of control there. So ZRO still right in its range. Let's have a look at that. And this is a nice range. I do expect this is going to run. It does look good. It does look good. It does look really good. So yeah, you got over the weekend, you got right back to that trend line. You got kicked up, so that was a good opportunity there. Just hold this zone, and yeah, you can kick up. Or maybe it's range bound forever. I don't know. I know that you guys have told me that the project's quite good though, haven't you? So yeah, I hope it does well for you. DOT is still getting spot bid, but it's such a shit chart, and it's a slow mover as well. Lizard coin XRP. The XRP army not too committed at the minute, are they? Again, a bit of a slow one, 2.35. It's been here forever. A little kick up to 2.46 there. But yeah, not a lot to say on XRP. Perps market getting a bit more committed here, down to that 217. Good depth of book, 54 million. So yeah, good depth of book on it. Not sure. Again, offer lifted there. I don't know if they've then come in here, stepped in there with those offers there, but yeah, good to see it. Dash, I know one of you guys was still interested in Dash. Looks like ZRO, so we've still got those range lows marked there. It's right in the middle. Absolute dinosaur coin, isn't it? I'm sure. I don't know if anybody's using it anymore, but I know someone was interested in it, so that's why I've kept it open there. Cardano. Ain't Charlie Boy getting done for a fraud or something? Didn't he get done for some fraud or something? Anyway, I always have a look at it. Trump administration have got this on the books, haven't they? And again, it has good order books. So a little bit like DOT, a little bit like XRP. Doesn't move too well, as in it's slow, isn't it? It's not like ENA or STX or any of those that move well. Just a little bit slow. Maker came down from that really, really big death cloud supply. Yeah, probably takes a little bit of time. Maker can be a little bit slow as well. So yeah, nice. Yeah, so BTC, yeah, a bit of choppiness around here, I think. A couple of things I wanted to show you on the old likes was, yeah, I mean, I've pointed this out, and I pointed this out to you guys, obviously, on the showing you the range to trend. You know, don't fight it. You could even wait for a breakdown of this trend and short the lower high with supply. You know, I don't think there's any rush to dive in shorts. Jim Cramer says we're never going to Mars, so absolutely no doubt we'll be there next year. And yeah, I just want to show you this on the weekly chart as well. I'm not going to call a breakout just yet, although I do believe that we have got more upside to come in the next couple of weeks before we maybe chill out over summer a little bit. But yeah, this is what you're looking at. You've hit this weekly resistance a couple of times now. We've obviously put in an all-time high. And this is where you are, you know, this is where you are. And I'm not seeing major supply to say that this is like a top. You know, if anyone remembers looking at the books, when we last hit that 110, the supply in the books was absolutely, you know, horrific. It was an obvious short. Not seeing it right now. I just think we need that momentum and that big chasing up to really push us onwards and upwards. Tesla, uponly.com, always will be. Right, so let's have a look then. Yeah, so if no one's got any altcoins to look at or anything else to look at, let's drop in the chat if you have, or if you've got any other questions. We'll have a quick look at the screener, what we got going on the screener then. So I'll just check if anything else is in supply. I think it's going to be the usual suspects. Nothing's really going to stand out here, I don't think. What is bid? Yeah, we know ENA's bid. It's actually at the top of the charts there. Look at that 80 ratio on ENA. TWT, which is Trust Wallet. And WIF, so we've seen WIF, we know that's bid, okay. We know ENA's bid. XTZ is constantly getting some bid at the minute. And nice to see Ray getting some bid as well, because that might follow along with, yeah, it's quite a nice chart, this one actually. It might follow along with ETH. So again, nothing to see right here. These are kind of like the lows you want, obviously. We don't have derivatives on this actually. But yeah, keep an eye on Ray and Jup. You know, keep an eye on Jup as well. Any other standouts? No, nothing else standing out. What's standing out in the perps market? Yeah, in the perps market, it's all the usual suspects up here, to be honest. Everybody's bullish on the hippos and the popcats and the squirrels still, so not seeing much edge. I do keep this one open all day as well, obviously, and it's just the case that now and again you'll see something pop to the top, and that's when you have a look at the chart. And that's what it was the other day, at the weekend on TRB. You know, got this open all day long, TRB flicks to the top, 24 hours later avax flicks to the top. You have a look, you know. So yeah, we'll see what we get. I think BTC wants to come down a little bit here and maybe gather a little bit of bid, but it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe just a tickle near to 108 or something like that around here. But yeah, let's summarize then. So BTC, bit of chop here. I think it just needs to gather a little bit of momentum. Don't forget, obviously, your TA levels. You know, we have just wicked up into this 1 hour order block here. That was from the weekend. So we've taken the weekend highs. We've just wicked into that. I'm not going to call this tight zone here a range, but I think we are building to some volatility here. Meme triangle trend traders will enjoy. Weekly open 109. You could even drop a little bit lower. You know, maybe just a tickle under 108, back to here. You know, weekend open is 109. You've probably got some liquidity at 108. If you spot altcoins have still got some demand, as you know, if we go down there, not saying we are going down there, but then that is going to be a very good risk reward, and it's not that far away. Okay, you know, you look on a 1 hour chart and you look and you think, God, that's, you know, it's going to be devastating. Well, it's not. On a 15-minute chart, you potentially just take these wicks here. Okay, so we'll see. Zoom in, keep an eye on the 5-minute chart as well, because obviously it's nice just to have those levels marked. And what I would say is, like I said right at the beginning, is keep an eye on perps, because if perps start to come in with some really good bid, and especially if perps start to fill this area up, if we do have some negative funding or anything, then, you know, if we drop, then that's going to look really good. CoinM, I don't think there's much to say from them. They're quite bid as well though. You know, and if BTC just wants to go sideways, the altcoins are going to play, aren't they? They're going to continue to play. So watch for those good spot demand zones, and we might have a bit of onwards and upwards in the next couple of days, especially from BTC. You know, we hit these bits of supply like now, could be enough to send us a little bit lower in the short term, but it's not as if the supply is attacking us all the way down like we've seen before, you know. So maybe you just need to go find some bid and then you float back up, you know. And largest levels, let's finish off by having a look at the largest top levels on BTC. Okay, so 106, so that could be, you know, bit of devastation obviously to get down there. What kind of percentage are we looking at there? It's only 3% though. It's not even that bad, is it? So 3% back when you know, BTC's gone from like late 70s to 110,000. You know, it's pulling off like a 40% move, and bears will probably rejoice at a 3% pullback. You know, so it's not even that far away. So even moves like that, people will shit themselves, right? You know, you say you went from 109 here down to 106, people would be shitting their pants. It's a 3% pullback. It's absolutely nothing, you know. So yeah, those are the biggest levels. Above, you have got a couple of levels just coming in here at the all-time high, obviously. You know, that's just people that just want to sell the all-time high, don't they? Above, which I'm not even thinking about just yet. Okay, I'm just not, because we're not moving there yet, and it's, you know, it's quite far away. 115, but your biggest level, round level, obviously, that I think could cap us for a certain amount of time is going to be 120. But this in general, this signature of spot demand coming in all the way down to 100k, you know, is really, really good. You've probably got some big time level, you know, if anyone trades the fair value gaps and all that, you've probably got some higher time frame fair value gaps right down there. But do we go down there immediately? I'm not going to speculate on that. I'm looking at these levels here down to 108. If we get a big dip, 106, that's going to be the one for us. Right, so don't forget to drop into the docs page, get some education there in the academy. There's loads of free stuff in there. All right, if anyone's got any questions, jump in the Telegram or the Discord. And I think we could be in for a bit of a good week. There's been some great altcoins from the weekend. Okay, let's have a little bit of demand confirmation. And we might see a little bit of upside. Yeah, Max says those gaps are for the summer. Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement. I think we pop off a little bit again in the coming days and weeks, and then we chill out a little bit over the summer, to be honest. Yep, no problem, Brett. No problem. Swaps. I will timestamp this, so if anyone wants to watch it back, if you've missed anything, or go find me in the socials if you've got any questions. All right, guys. Look, I think we're in for a good week. The order books are good. Don't over push buttons. Wait for those amazing setups to come in. All right. If you're unfamiliar, wait for these amazing setups to come in. Chill, sit on your hands. Don't push too many buttons. Wait for those amazing setups to come in. You know, and those are the ones to play. Those are fire and forget trades. If it's not looking like that, lower your percentage that you're trading. You know, if it's in the European session, low volume, or if it's on a weekend, lower the percentage you're trading, right? Okay, if it's in the US session with good volume and you see shit like that, it's going to be good. All right, guys, have a good one. Going to be a good week, I think. Cheers.